half of this round 20 game between high-flying Nkwazi and Zanaco in the Zambia Super Division. At halftime, it's Nkwazi nil and Zanaco 1. So it is Nkwazi now who have to come back in the second half, or maybe it is about extension in terms of the goals from the Nkwazi perspective. We can also confirm with you some changes have been made in the two teams, and we'll be confirming with you shortly who has come in for who, but clearly it is Baba Basile and of course Baba Basile who has been introduced, and so is the former Titenare attacking midfielder in Lasa Kiala have been introduced for Zanaco Football Club. Or in the case of Nkwazi Football Club, they've taken off Andrew Mupande, and his position taken by Bernard Kumwenda. A foul committed by the Zanaco, rather by Nkwazi, so it's deep in their own half, and they have to come out and defend this one. Confirmation of a yellow card. They're really coming out fast and furious here now in the second half. 21-year-old Crawford Moore into the referee's book.
And Crawford Moore, they just mistiming his run and extends his boot and catches Moses Piri. And looking to stop Moses Piri at all costs. Very crude challenge there from the central defender of Nkwazi.
More firepower up front. That's Kiala, one of them to take this one as one of the players that has been introduced. So remember, two changes that have been made, three now overall, if you count the one that involved the early exit of Bilchansi Makiasi, whose place was taken by Kevin Owusu. Now Sulumani, good dummy, brought inside, goalkeepers come out, collects. There was pressure that came through from Zio Tembo. So one of the changes that has been made, it is Rodgers Kola who has gone out. So Kola out, and his position taken by Baba Basile. We'll be confirming with you shortly who has come off in place of Lasa Kiala. Oh, looks like Ernest Mbewe is the one that has exited. So let's confirm with you the changes that have been made, shall we? It's Ernest Mbewe and Rodgers Kola that have exited, and their position taken by Lasa Kiala and Baba Basile. Foul on Nkwazi by Boyd Msonda.
And it's a change in who leads the top of the attack for Zanaco and Baba Basile. A whole different dimension for Henry Wesa to deal with now, with the power. And of course, Baba Basile does live for the power contest. So another second half of a lot of challenges as Lasa Kiala comes in to add to the creativity for Zanaco, replacing Ernest Mbewe.
To be a good count of seconds in the second half, should Nkwazi be able to get a goal at this time of the match. And again, Manganibanda, very impressive so far, putting up a man of the match performance in my opinion. Continued from the first half, right on spot. Gigi was looking for the run quickly to come through from Moses P, who appreciates the vision of thought that came through from the goalkeeper Manganibanda. So this is Bernard Kumwenda, the youngest player this afternoon on the field, 21 years of age, who has come in as the first change for Nkwazi Football Club, replacing Andrew Mupande. Back pass, strong clearance at the back by the Nkwazi defense, but it's Kampumbu was first to arrive. Nkwazi to start at the back with Crawford Mwaba. slowly begin to build up. Wide now to Pride Mwansa. And wasted chance by Mwansa.
Should be wearing the wrong boots, maybe. Pride Mwansa. What do you think, Matimba?
Those boots, eh? Seems every time he's wearing wrong boots. You can see how frustrated is coach Dennis Makinka. But maybe a bit of competition there. Remember there was a time when he was away with the Chan team. It was Elas Kazangarare was meant to play in that left back position. But now Kazangarare back to the subs bench since the arrival from the Chan tournament by the original number 3, as we used to call them in the past, or the left back. In this case, we're talking of the so far wasteful in terms of the chances of the crosses that have come through Pride Mwansa. Now, this is Pride Mwansa, the player in question. Good pass to Christopher Zulu. Good reaction by Captain Zio Tembo. Corner it is. Zio just doing some man marking there, the 35-year-old Zanaco captain. Because one of those few players that has played for only one team in terms of organized football, the Zambian Super Division, Zio Tembo, ever present for Zanaco. Good turning, hoping to pull the trigger here. Difficult ball taken wide completely by Stephen Mutama. Almost looked like a clearance as opposed to be one that would have been an opportunity to be created. Zanaco taking their time in taking the throw in. They're really slowing down the game and not looking like one that they may just be looking for a second goal, probably an assurance one, because remember 1-0 is not a comfortable lead. Lasakiala. Looking for the run from Baba Basile. They clear it out with Kampumbu. Chomba. Wide from Christopher Zulu to Captain Banda. Second ball for Chomba. Couldn't control it and straight to goalkeeper Mangani Banda.
Just a little too much in that cross from Jeff Banda, who was trying to pick up Eric Chomba.
Headed out by the Nkwazi left back. This is Bernard Kumwenda. Vesa Henry. At least now you'll be happy that Roger Kola has been substituted, Marco.
Oh, no. I mean, now he has to deal with Baba Basile, who's a lot more stronger than Roger Kola. And Baba Basile actually gets into a lot more challenges than Roger Kola. So it's a whole different dimension now to what he will have to do. That is Henry Besa. But I think for Nkwazi, though, their substitution in removing Andrew Mupande for Bernard Kumwenda actually means that they only have one holding midfielder. So a lot more attacking play will be expected from them. Offside flag there was raised for Christopher Zulu. Of course, Nkwazi not agreeing with that call.
I'm forced to speculate here, Marco, because throughout the first half, when we saw Roger Kola had a bandage strapped around his
thigh, yeah?
Thigh. Maybe
the left thigh, yeah. Look like
it's a concern, and probably that is what has led to the substitution, though.
Possibly that, yeah. It did look very heavily strapped, his left thigh.
Now, ball for Zanaco. Offside flag already gone up from second assistant.
And the offside flag actually deprives us of the chance to see Mangani Banda's ball control skills.
Oh yeah, now Siankombo inside, going through a maze of players, brought down by a challenge from Nelson Mwila. So to go in between two players, he's got such pace and a yellow card. They're really coming out, so it's the third yellow card for Nkwazi player. Remember earlier, the first yellow card was Henry Vesa, 34th, then we had a 45th minute for Crawford Mwaba. And now, it's Nelson Mwila, and look at the way Jeff Banda will just go there. He can actually be, look at his facial expression.
Feisty
He's
character.
really talking to the referee.
He's a very feisty character, and Abraham Siankombo was looking to cut in between that midfield and at least a shot possibly. And Nelson Mwila, no attempts to play the ball, and I think that's why the referee actually opts to give him a yellow card for that. Because it was a blatant foul, and who knows, maybe Siankombo would have unleashed a shot had he made it through the maze of those two players.
Now let's see how Zanaco will take this one. We've got not left-footed players as well that can take this opportunity. Siankombo himself saying, I'm ready to take this one. Remember, it was him that was brought down that has resulted in this situation. So yet another yellow card. It's expected. Captain Jeff Banda, I told you. Look at him. He still continues talking. 2 weeks ago again he was given a yellow card, and Baba Basile comes in. Oh, he's a tough lad. He's a tough cop, this one, I'll tell you. Now the yellow cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for Nkwazi. Disciplinary issues here really questionable for this Zambia police sponsored outfit. Four yellow cards, yes. And all Nkwazi's way. Siankombo, Kampumbu, Kelvin also interested, and he saw his Lasakiala white.
Looks to bend it round the wall, but just doesn't get enough curl on it. So just getting his technique and those bearings wrong, but does possess a very lethal left foot. Have seen him score very nice free kicks from that left foot position. Looks like Baba Basile is the one who will be in trouble this time. But to just get a talking to. Henry Vesa, of course, signaling that he was caught on the ankle. Not happy with that challenge at all. Is from the fouls count, you can see 20 fouls, but Zanaco leading with 11.
Now, looks like we've got a yellow card here coming out, and like Baba Basile, or maybe it's just well, I think there's no card. Maybe it's just recording the fact that next time out you'll be able to refer to it. Jeff Banda forced to play forward, given out to Musa Sulman. So confirmation, Baba Basile also into the referee's book. The Cameroonian into the ref's book. So we've got 2 Cameroonians in this Zanaco side playing this afternoon. Nkwazi really have to change their approach in this match if they have to get a point or points off Zanaco. They cannot continue on the same path where they are playing as if it's them that are leading. Muntanga. Henry Vesa. To put it in areas where they can at least get a goal as opposed to playing square passes. Kampumbu. Langson only now looking for the run from Christopher Zulu, but dealt with nicely at the back by Kevin Ousu. Jeff Banda. For an opportunity here in Nkwazi, they lose it with Vesa. It's been very casual as well when it comes to the final passes. Muntanga. Match somewhat going into allow here. We're not seeing so much creative play from both sides. Christopher Zulu. This should be a Nkwazi advantage. There was a strong push that came through from the Ghanaian Kevin Ousu Amo on Christopher Cardozo Zulu. Wide now. Kampumbu whips in one. Goalkeepers come out. It was a difficult ball for him to hold on and did very well just to have the slightest of a touch to take it out. Siankombo put under pressure here. Both are left-footed players, but Siankombo wins it. Nkwazi comes second time now. Nelson Mwila. Mutama. Stephen. Hoping to start with Crawford Mwaba. Zanaco chasing shadows now. Henry Vesa very slow when he's got the ball. They're forced to put it forward, desperately cleared by Kevin Ousu. Moses Piri. Musonda Boyd. Good ball now. Wide to Siankombo Abraham. Up against Pride Mwanza. Waits to get some support. Musonda's come. Waits to bring in the cross. Banda Jeff And Nkwazi can clear. You can imagine if the ref had blown for a handball there or something, how Jeff Banda would have reacted to that situation.
Very volatile character, Jeff Banda, yeah, and of course, even the yellow he got was more for dissent than anything.
Oh, really wanting to use the fact that he's the captain, the sports person for the other players on the field. Attack is on now by the Zanacos, by the Nkwazi side. Kelvin Kampumbu must be very careful. Yeah, he's actually sitting on a yellow as well. So it's actually 2 players now for Zanaco that are on yellow cards.
And he goes off very lucky there, Kelvin Kampumbu, because that was a very unnecessary foul. And
good switch play. And too much for Kampumbu. And normally it's the same candidates that we have in terms of yellow cards. There are really certain players you really know that, hey, this game, if he moves off that particular match without a card or completes a match, then it's another statistic that you need to record. But now there's an attack here with Siankombo. Opportunity delays, and it's a goal, 2-0. And Abraham Siankombo really is having some fine football at Zanaco Football Club. And again, we keep talking about how many chances this Nkwazi side will create. And Makinkan team is one area. They've been stung. Look at the facial expression of Bubble Brown and them. But Siankombo with an important one. So, Siankombo with his 7th for the season. And the youngster is really justifying why Zanaco, even when he was rejected at Nkwazi Football Club, is scoring the goals for them.
well, it's a defensive lapse here from Nkwazi, and it's Pride Mwansa, who's actually the guilty party in Siankombo, latches onto it, sells the dummy to Crawford Mwaba, and easily beats the goalkeeper in Charles Muntanga, who goes the wrong way. But a very calm and collected finish from Abraham Siankombo to get his 7th of the season, capitalizing on that defensive error from Pride Mwansa. And Zanaco now, at least, with a bit of breathing room with that 2nd goal.
In the background, you saw Bauchi, Happy Chico, wondering, oh, they're almost the same height. This boy is really cracking and scoring goals. So Siankombo with the 7th of the season, 2nd one for Zanaco. It is Nkwazi nil and Zanaco 2. Now, Nkwazi have to dig deep. They've been stung by that 2-0 scoreline. And unless otherwise, Zanaco have allowed to come at them. And when they've got a chance, this is what they are capable of doing. Speaking of which, the last time that Zanaco beat Nkwazi or won by 2-0 scoreline, or rather 2-1, was in 2018. When Zanaco won 2-1, June 23, and of course Zanaco were the home team. But in terms of the away side, Zanaco last scored 2 goals, where they lost 3-2 against Nkwazi. What is the problem with Nkwazi, Marco?
Oh, that's quite a question, Matimba. And I think overall as a team, they have a good side, but I think it's just not clinical enough, because when you look at it now, even the defense that we had said leaks in very little goals, questions are being asked of it because they've just gifted these 2 goals.
Siankombo judged it was a good attempt. He had judged the goalkeeper. Was probably going to be led to drift from the right to the left.
So, yeah,
Kampumbu.
We're talking about the defense of Nkwazi prior to this game that had really been holding strong. And yes, they were sitting on a -2 goal difference entering this game, which is now -4. But the defense was resolute. And now you would see that, I think now the average performance is creeping to all departments of Nkwazi, because not only is their front line not firing, but even the defense now is leaking in goals. So I think it's an overhaul that needs to be conducted.
Yeah, certainly all departments have to be called to work as a unit. Challenge, and picked up by Mangani Banda.
And I don't think it surprises us that it's actually Pride Mwansa who's at the end of that cross into the 18-yard box. Their current top scorer at 3 goals, the left back.
Well,
so
and even his contribution, we've been talking about it for the larger part of the afternoon.
You would wonder where the forwards are.
Nkwazi, Jeff Banda, Now has to take a captain's goal to get something.
Advantage. I think Trison Mwape should be playing advantage there.
And that's what makes Mr. Jeff Banda upset with such decisions.
The last time when he blew up in the Copa Belt was at Levi Manawasa. Yellow card to Boyd Musonda. And, not card shy is Mr. Ref Mwape today. And of course he issued out, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, sixth card. Wow. 7 actually.
7, yes, if you include Baba Basile.
Oh yeah, 7,
so yes. 3 for Zanaco, 4 for Nkwazi Football Club. But there's a change that has been made. Kenneth Kasanga has been introduced for Zulu. Of course, Kasanga started in the last game against Kavu Warriors. Today, coming off the bench. Jeff Banda. Looking to where to place the ball now into the box. They'll challenge for this one. Kelvin has got enough cover there. The height comparison working out and is really commanding and shouting at his teammates in terms of the defensive setup. Really very alert is the Ghanaian in terms of organizational setup of the defense. Long ball for Baba Basile. Touch on is good from the Cameroonian, but White. Pride ones are now. Throw taken. Henry Besa. Wow, this Nkwazi side still has a lot of time if you were to ask me, Marco. 24 minutes is a lot of time in any game to change the result. 2-0 is not a big scoreline, depending on how effective you can be as a team in terms of piling up pressure and converting the chances that might probably be created or come through your way.
Hope the substitutions that have been made by Coach Makinka will actually start them on that course towards getting at least that one goal that will give them some impetus.
Might just start with this one, but good block made by Kevin Owusu. That cross not coming through across the goal that had about 3 players that were waiting. Owusu really commanding the backline for this Zanaco side. Scored 1 goal last time out when Zanaco in the continental competition. They take a short one. Eric Chomba conspicuously missing. One surprise. White. Goal kick. Intention was good to start with a short corner, but too much, not even the captain. So Makinka now, he was a defender himself from Nkwazi Football Club. He has to dig deep and see the results, or the result, especially in the last 2. If they lose this one, will not be good. Out of a possible 6 points, picking up only 1 away in that game against Kavu Warriors. Kick out from Mangani Banda. Remember, there'll be other games that are kickstarting at 15 hours Zambian time, so or Central African time. We'll keep you posted with the results as they come in from the various venues. But this is an early kickoff in this doubleheader. Henry Besa. Controlled by young Bernard Kumwenda. Second ball for Jeff Banda, cleared out by Mwewa. And decision against Jeff Banda.
Looks like it's a decision that Nkwazi do not agree with. They honestly thought it was going to be their throw-in.
The likes of Chipungu Musukuma, or Musukuma Chipungu, just can't believe probably what is currently obtaining. One of those players that have graduated from the Nkwazi playing rank and file to now being part of the technical team. Simply put, the coaching bench for the Nkwazi side. Throw taken by Zio Tembo. It's cut out by Nelson Muida. 1 goal as well. The goals from Nkwazi really far and not too many in terms of the distribution. That's why I keep emphasizing about Pride Months. If they can have a left back as the top scorer, then really a lot of questions. Throw from Kelvin Kampumbu, the Zambian international. Hesitation. One of the 3 Kampumbu brothers actively in football. The other one being Faxon at Zesco United. Now Moses P to the box. Mwewa. Chance here. Desperate clearance. And they've really shown some deficiencies when it comes to defending this Nkwazi side when put under pressure. Nelson Muida looking for the run from the captain. This is a good ball now to Jeff Banda. A cross would do well. It's brought inside, but again another wasted chance from the Nkwazi side. I think they have to learn one thing. When you've got the chances, yes, they may not be too many, but when you have them, you have to make it count. But Boyd Musonda's down, and again, it's the issues of is it so much physical play that they're probably subjected to? Is it them have to dig deep in terms of the energy reserves? Because already now it's Boyd Musonda, the goal scorer, who's down.
Yeah, well, there's a header from Roger Kola that finds Boyd Musonda. Good first control, and then very, very brave and accurate volley it was, catching out Charles Muntanga. Brilliant, brilliant finish, and one of those goals that you can gloat about, scored by that man there being stretchered off, Boyd Musonda.
Well, he also scored his goal in the 2016 Under-20 COSAFA tournament, was voted one of the best goals. But coming up next, this man will be not sitting in the stands, but on the technical area. He is Wetson Nyerenda. And of course, on the left on your screen, that's the Traska Kondo, is one of the members of the Green Buffalo setup. Recently was acting as team manager for the Green Buffalo side. So up next, Lusaka Dynamos will be up against Forest Rangers. Really a cracker of a game in the offing. In the meantime, here 2-0 Zanaco lead. Bernard Kumwenda. He's talking about Buffaloes. They're away in Choma at the Independence Stadium. 3 p.m. kickoff against Green Eagles.
Yeah,
very, that's a big game. Yeah.
Very interesting clash there. And
Moses P.
Unfortunately, though, neither side enjoying the best of form when you talk about Green Eagles and Green Buffaloes, yes?
Absolutely not. Sio Tembo. Mwewa. Kelvin Kampumbu. Mwewa caught for the second ball and he's got it. Wide, good play, good build-up. Mwewa seems to be now in the right back position to Siankombo. He has to bring it to the left. Up against Pride Mwanza. Mwanza defense first time. Having problems to deal with Siankombo. And again, Nelson Mwida putting himself under necessary pressure when he could have done the basics of easily booting and clearing the ball up front. The likes of Kelvin Kampumbu are really strong and will not give you a chance to play around with the ball. So change has been made. Chisambalungu, the former Zambian international, introduced as the fourth change in place of Boyd Musonda. Looks like another forced substitution, Marco.
Yes, it is, and looks like Boyd Musonda just failing to shake off that particular injury. It looks like it was the back of his thigh that he was clutching, possibly a hamstring injury. But then, I mean, you might want to question.
Talking about questioning, it's the defense for Nkwazi that has been questioned here. With Moses P. corner. Before he says there was a slight touch. The Nkwazi players are not agreeing with most of the decisions that have been made, but it's advantage Zanaco with 17 minutes before the end of this match.
Could be a question I would need to ask Thompson Matenda, because it looks like it could be a question of conditioning, because Zio Tembo looks like it was no, not Zio.
Yes,
Makiese. No,
yes, even Zio.
Yeah, even Zio was struggling with that,
right.
But Makiese looked like he came in carrying a knock, and Roger Kola having to be substituted for safety reasons. Now Boyd Musonda.
Same reason, probably close to cause, so to speak, in terms of everything has to do. There's a key word that you used about health. So really, it's a good thought and a good discussion that can be brought up. It'd be good to find out from the Zanaco staff exactly about how all these things are happening. Corner to be taken by Chisambalungu. Second one in succession for the Zanaco side. Near post, defend and it grazes, just goes past the mouth of the Nkwazi goal.
Looks like Moses Piri wasn't heading it on goal, but it was more a flick on header, and I think he's gesturing to his teammates that it was a flick on header, guys. So he expected people to attack it.
Sambalungu now. Good play, just not losing possession. Musa Sulumani going through a maze of players. That's advantage Zanaco without a doubt.
Musa Sulumani is still on the ground, actually, because he was taken out by Langston Kampumbu. Very frustrated figure, and it's like it was a body check. I'm sure got the full brunt of that challenge into his chest. And it's quite a nightmare to have a skilled player like that play left back and, and you're the right back.
So Muntanga in the spotlight, rather.
Hey.
Quarter of an hour here before the end of the match. Suleiman himself to get his out and set piece. In fact, there's change in terms of personnel, and it was Baba Basile who blasted it, but over the bar.
A lot of power in that particular shot and very little accuracy. He had scored a placement free kick, I remember. I think was in the colors of Zanaco, yeah? Yes, it was. Yeah.
Yes.
So he can place them, but the power aspect of his free kicks.
Now, Moses, even as we're talking about placement, Piri. Chance, this should be number 3. Should have brought it inside. That was an Abraham Siankombo, yeah, cutback, as opposed to just hoping to shoot direct at goal, because then the angle was already narrowed with Muntanga just making sure the basic rule of a goalkeeper near post well guarded.
Very cheeky tag from Nelson Mwila on the jersey of Musa Sulumano. And as much as Nkwazi were given the free kick.
Chested by Chomba, who's for me a serious candidate to be substituted. There's nothing that we're seeing so much of him in action, but maybe spoken too early. Attack here with Nkwazi. Blocked yet again by Kevin Owusu. That shot that came off from Bernard Kumwenda. Saka Dynamos in the meantime readying themselves for the second game. Mangani Banda. One thing I like about him is very good when it comes to commanding his area. He's undoing it sometimes when the team that they are coming up with do place up those high balls in the roof of a particular situation that they may find themselves in the net, that is. Now, attack with Nelson Mwila rather. Forced to play wide, finds Pride Mwansa. And again, he can't even whip in across Mwansa. One of the players, Mwansa, who was identified during the Airtel Rising Stars from Nyimba in the Eastern Province. Difficult ball, cleared out by Kampumbu. It's about desperation here also for the Zanaco side, just taking the ball, kick it, take it out anywhere, everywhere, everything, anything possible away from that area. Throw Nkwazi. Do you see Nkwazi forcing a draw here?
Well, in as much as they've made these substitutions, but still, they just still look flat, Nkwazi. And yeah, Christopher Zulu, yes, has been excused from duty today, but Jeff Banda, straight, ooh, nasty challenge from Pride Mwansa there. Very nasty, goes in with his stats showing. Might be a red.
So, straight red. This is a summation of what we've been talking about this afternoon in terms of Pride Mwansa. Really, he's now cost the team. Remember, the second goal was his mistake, the breakdown, and now he's given Nkwazi a numerical disadvantage.
Yeah, and it's a very nasty challenge from Pride Mwansa. Goes in with his stats showing, catches Chisambalungu. And very dangerous play from the Nkwazi left back, rightfully so, shown a red card. And just sums up his contribution towards the game today. Giving away a goal now is going to cost his team in terms of numbers. Comes into this challenge and he's off the field. Both his feet are off the ground. And it's a reckless challenge. He's not in control. Comes with both his stats showing, catches Chisambalungu and right call by referee Tyson Mwape. The walk of shame it is for Pride Mwansa.
Madimba, the 22-year-old, is off. And we kept saying exactly about his contribution. Good to see that Chisambalungu is upstanding. Remember that in a game when he was with Nkana Football Club, with virtually his first touch, got injured, and we did not see him later on come back into the Nkana colors for quite some time. So good to see that really it's not something that may warrant him being substituted or the medical teams to do a serious work on him. But that's what happens when you don't bring your A game. So now Nkwazi are down 2-0 and they're down by a man. Things beginning to come out from bad to worse for the Nkwazi side. Oh, might just be another card here. But I'll tell you one thing. At the end of this match, these Nkwazi players may congregate and just have, just a bit of talk with
a
the
mini
referee.
conference.
A mini conference just after the game. And for this man, Henry Wesa, he must be very careful. Remember, he got a yellow card in the 34th minute, the 27-year-old Nkwazi defender. A second one means a red. Stopped by Siankombo. Lasakiala. White to John Mwewa. Brought inside. Siankombo. Heavy touch. Couldn't control it very well. Kampumbu with the clearance. Not seeing so much of coordinated football in this match in terms of ball passing and the like. Musa Sulemani. Good ball now to Moses Spiri. Baby Police. Going into the box. Has a chance now. Sells the damage. Opportunity and it grazes the upright. So he really wants to put his name on the score sheet. He's doing everything right. Teasing and turning the Nkwazi defense. Nkwazi have to thank the upright, at least. For that, what would have been a third goal for the Zanaco side.
And what a beautiful goal it would have been. No? All those twists and turns and step overs, and Moses Spiri being set loose there by Musa Solomano. Pass into the channel, faces up with Langson Kampumbu, sells him with the step over, and then tries to beat Charles Muntanga at the far post, but the ball strikes the foot of the post and bounces back into play and is safely dealt with. But brilliant play there from Moses Spiri. Had it not been for the foot of the post, could have been talking about Zanaco leading by 3-0.
But again, Marco, twice Moses Spiri has had an opportunity to play back. There were players in the box that could have easily finished those chances. 4, to me, Zanaco would have been leading, because you could see the last one, it was Baba Basile was waiting. Was with the third change, and it is Elas Kazangarare who is coming in. Looks like Captain Jeff Banda now exits, and the captain's armband will quickly have to move to Eric Chomba. He's the next in line in terms of the captain's roll call. So Jeff Banda, the 26-year-old, exits third change. He got a yellow card in the 55th minute, and in comes Elaska Zangarare. This is an interesting substitution, because I don't know, maybe your interpretation now, how they're going to think around this team.
Oh, Kazangarare was definitely slotted into left back position, and I mean earlier in this match.
Even as we're talking about that, Gross is over the bar. The offside flag already had gone up against Eric Chomba. Right call by second assistant. And
yeah, I mean, Matimba, Kazangarare had played in the left back position when Pride Monster was away with the national team at the Chan tournament in Cameroon. So it's a position which he got to acclimatize to. So he will just slot in that particular one, as seeing as Pride Monster has been set off. So, and of course, since it was a straight red, that means that Nkwazi won't have him for the next game either.
And the next game is away to Green Buffaloes Football Club, who must be very happy with probably what they've seen now. Zio Tembo, Lungu, Chisamba, Mwewa, Siankombo, brought inside to Lungu. They got the advantage as well now. Moses Spiri. Musa Sulemani has already started taking off. Siankombo. Mwewa calling for the ball, but Siankombo laying up Chisamba Lungu. These days we don't see Chisamba shooting from such positions. Kiala. Lungu. This is good play by Zanaco. Just with 6 minutes to go, really, as long as you can keep possession like this, then you're in for at least a result, especially if it's 2-0. Don't lose possession. Kiala. Kampumbu take it back to Captain Zio Tembo. Ousu. Musa Solomani. Lasa Kiala. 15 passes according to my count. Nkwazi just chasing. 16. 17 with Chisamba Lungu. 18 to Ousu. 19. Musa Solomani. 20. I stopped the count.
20 is enough, yeah?
Yeah, it's enough for now. Otherwise it would be days of baby class counting numbers. Attack with Nkwazi, probably one of the last few chances they may have, cleared out by Zio Tembo. chance now for them to just see off this match is Zanaco Football Club. I think the business has been done.
I think now it's just seeing out this particular scoreline as a result and possibly adding on a third. But as things stand, I think Zanaco can strongly feel that this is a victory that they've already gotten today. But football being what it is, would you give Nkwazi a chance of getting into this particular match? I highly doubt it.
13 shots on target overall, and Nkwazi leading in terms of the corners. Langston Kampumbu. Chomba, Eric. They've done a very good job, Zanaco, to just not allow Chomba any chance. Cross comes through, the header, and Gigi will buy a bit of time. Mangani. Siankombo. Chisambalungu. He's just controlling things very well, Chisamba. Just making a few runs. Looks like Zanaco really trying to play to his strength. He doesn't have the same pace that, for instance, during the days of the AFCON 2012, he could even play in defense. Looking for a chance here now with Bernard. Gets the better. Can he bring in a cross? And goal kick.
Looks like Sambalunga just sits in that pocket. Looks like he's conducting an orchestra.
So Jackson Bakulu. Jackson Bakulu being introduced as the the fifth change, I beg your pardon, in for Siankombo, who scored the second goal for Zanaco in the 62nd minute. Jacques Bakulu.
It's more a like-for-like sub, and of course Jacques Bakulu, another left-footed player, quite industrious himself, just settling into this Zanaco side, you would say. Also a forward like Siankombo.
He comes in with a good reputation, having scored some important goals in Morocco, where he was the DRC player. There was a clash of knees there. It looks like the Nkwazi player is the one that has come out west from that situation, and the challenge that came through.
It's Laxon Kampumbu, actually, who's lying on the ground in a lot of pain, and it was a collision with Jacques Bakulu. Looks like it's the hands of Bakulu as he's trying to break his fall. That catch, Langston Kampumbu, it looks like he'll catch him on his neck, though.
So, play has been stopped, and not too much additional time we anticipate in these closing stages of this match. And Zanaco, for at least 24 hours, I reckon, will go on top.
Yes,
depending as they wait in Zesco being action tomorrow against Lumwana Radiance.
Yeah, and it was the mistake from Pride Mwanza, from which Abraham Siankombo actually benefited from it, sold the dummy to Crawford Mwaba, and calmly put the ball past Charles Muntanga, getting Zanaco second and his 7th of the season. A good shift he has put in for Zanaco today.
Well, certainly he has. The player was played also for Police College, currently a student at the Rusango University, where he's studying, put together a bachelor's degree in environmental health at Rusango University. So combining studies at the same time playing some football. Waiting for the boardsman to display how many minutes. So we're playing 3 minutes of additional time here. Nkwazi have to score 1 goal in every minute to win this one, or at least a goal in one of the in 2 of the 3 minutes to end this match 2-2. But from experience, I'll tell you, unless otherwise. Impossible is nothing. Nothing is impossible. But this looks like a Zanaco win this afternoon. And Mr. Takatiko will be pleased with what his team probably would have put through. I like his expression on the face.
Quite a stern look it is, and maybe the only downside to Zanaco's performance is the fact that they didn't punish Nkwazi after they went down to 10 men. And I mean, after Pride Monster was sent off in the 79th minute, in the 11th minute, in 11 minutes of regulation, they failed to score a goal, Zanaco. So I think they could have done a lot, could have inflicted a lot more pain on Nkwazi.
Well, so then that stirs up a debate that maybe the lesser the number, the more they were organized. We'll propose that next time when they play against Buffaloes, let them be 10 versus 11 and say, no, we don't want to play with 11 players. Just kidding. Afternoon discussion on a Wednesday in terms of football. Now, Nkwazi whips one in the box, cleared out by John Mwewa. Just seeing seconds out in this match and maybe looking for a chance just to reduce the deficit. Earlier on, Mark, we're talking about the -4 goal difference that now currently is smiling in the face of this Nkwazi team. And it's such things, for instance, when you're tied on points and whether you want to win the league or survive relegation, that really sometimes may just haunt you. Ball for Eric Chomba, being pursued by Kevin Owusu, just sticking to him very tight. Cross couldn't come through. Long ball now, looking for Baba Basile. Goalkeeper had come out, and that would have been some disaster there. And maybe even as we talk about disaster, a chance for me to get just your overall performance of how these two teams have played this afternoon.
The first goal that Zanaco scored, courtesy of Boyd Musonda, really shook Nkwazi, and they just failed to get back from that. And even in the second half, started it very flat. And I mean, Abraham Siankombo just put the icing on a very, you would say, not a very good performance from Zanaco, but just they did enough to warrant a win today. So from Zanaco, good performance. They can look back on it. There's some pluses that they can take back from it, and there's some things that they can work on as well.
Picked up by goalkeeper Charles Muntanga. Zio Tembo. So the final whistle has come through here, bringing to the close of this match here, and it's Nkwazi, the losing side here. 2 goals for Zanaco, 3 points in the kitty. It has ended. High flying Nkwazi 2, Zanaco Football Club 2. Pola Pazedi just got better. Send defensive midfield just in the 2nd minute of this match, and no chance for Charles Muntanga, who probably was cited to have been slightly inside, and a mistake by Pride Monster, nicely picked up by Siankombo, a reject from Nkwazi Football Club, and bang, in the back of the net, 2-0, the Bankers win. So, no chance for the Zambia police officers to arrest the Bankers, who are really